You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. Your love changes everything. There's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. Oh, there's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything in my body. Oh, something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing.
Good morning, Rooted Men. Pleasure to be with you this morning. Matt Ryan, Elder, Firmly Rooted Ministries. Continuing to work our way through Proverbs on this beautiful Friday. Incredible to watch the leaves popping. Fall in Michigan really, I think, is the best time to be here. Spring can be great, but of course in Michigan, spring can also be just mud, and there might only be one day that really feels springy, but fall seems to always come and show its head for at least a couple of weeks. So I hope that this weekend has you finding time to enjoy God's creation, to be out and watching the beauty of letting go, the beauty of accepting dying to things, and the promise that they'll be reborn in the spring and you'll be made new again. I don't know whether that's time with family or watching football. Of course, the Lions are done for the weekend, so I assume everyone will be at church on Sunday and be there nice and late because they're not in any hurry, right? Be a lot of fellowship afterward, probably. Just really looking forward to it. These really are some of the best weekends to get to enjoy, and I hope you get to. I hope you get to think about God's creation in that way and think about what's been laid out for us to enjoy and just the beauty that we're surrounded with. So here we are, still working through Proverbs. There's some kind of different facets to Proverbs, and we're here in the 30 wise sayings now. And for those of you who maybe aren't caught up completely, we've moved through the wisdom of Solomon, and now we're into the stage where he's talking to his son. Okay, so Solomon isn't necessarily the writer anymore. These are wise sayings to teach a son or a student. The word son is used, but it really can go either way. But to me, this is a modeling, right? There's so much in the Bible that models for us how to behave, how to act, how to be. And as his relationship to us is father to son, that's the view I always see it through. I think of this as a way to talk to my sons, to be giving them sayings of wisdom, to be teaching them. And in that same respect, then it's the same way that in the living word, my father's talking to me and telling me not only how to be wise, how to discern what wisdom is, but also to apply it, and more importantly, to submit to it. And that's the heavy part we're going to deal with today. So my son, if your heart is wise, then my heart will be glad indeed. My inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. So your lips speaking truth voluntarily, not just some rote memorization, something from Sunday school or something for those of us who grew up Catholic and went to CCD and we had to memorize many things and say them, and everything in the Mass is all memorization and it's all response, call and response, and it's not what we're talking about here. When we're really speaking what is right, when we're really breathing life into people around us and impacting people around us because we're so rooted in His Word that it comes out naturally. It's like the fruit of the Spirit that is evidence of a relationship with God, but it's not something you can create. You can't force it. It can't be fake. This is when you're really genuinely speaking from your lips truth, the joy, and the picture of God being that joyful Father, of sitting there and watching His children, especially that I might be one of them. I might be that important to Him, that He's watching and rejoicing over the things that I'm saying, the creator of the universe. I mean, that's a pretty big deal, right? Let's not forget who it is that's making these promises, who it is that's speaking to us and giving us this encouragement for our lives. So don't breeze over this. Realize He's saying, I want this for you. I want this for our relationship. And for those of you who've had the joy of raising sons, I don't know who all's on with us, but for those of you who have, it's such an easy thing to picture and to relate to. You know, if I heard my sons giving a testimony, man, would it make me feel good about maybe in all these ways that the world tells me I'm failing, maybe I'm doing something right after all. Maybe something stuck. Maybe I planted a seed in them that's going to help them grow into godly men. There could be no greater honor as a father as far as I'm concerned. So my heart will be glad, my inmost being will rejoice. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but always be zealous for the fear of the Lord. There is surely a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. It will come true. It will come to fruition. These things shall pass. It will be realized, right? Other ways to say it. Letting your heart envy sinners is a tough one, because we see people living this YOLO life. We see people around us doing whatever they feel like, and things can go well for them, and that can be so discouraging, right? But know that anything they're enjoying is fleeting and temporary. Rather, when we look to the path our Father set out for us, and we're truly able to submit ourselves to the way He's telling us to live, don't be confused here, right? When He says, do not let your heart envy sinners, this isn't making the 660 plus laws out of the Mosaic Law. This isn't creating a legalist culture where you show your faith by doing this, you act this way to get into heaven. This is not a salvation issue. None of this wisdom is a salvation issue. You are saved because you professed your faith in Christ Jesus, period. Because you love the Lord, your God. That's the salvation part. This is the, I want you to live a good life. I want you to realize the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That this peace, this power is available to you now in your earthly life. And here's how to get it. Right? That really sets the tone and sets our heart in a better place to understand this. This is not being told what to do. This is, I understand there's going to be parts of this that are complicated, but don't worry. You be zealous for the fear of the Lord. Don't let your heart envy sinners. Don't get caught up in the comparison game. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Don't think you're missing out, right? Eve thought they were missing out. That was the first lie. That's what she bought. God's rules are keeping us from being who He wants us to be. His rules are holding us back. Right? Isn't that the lie the serpent told her? Don't envy sinners. Don't be jealous of what other people are doing or what they have. Don't ever think that living according to God's wisdom is holding you back from something bigger or something better. Because truly, that's the way to live a life that's going to lead you towards something bigger. That life in eternity that you're going to get to enjoy because you've submitted yourself to the Lord. That's what it's worth, right? Not these temporary moments of feeling good, hedonism, or whatever it is, sensualism on earth that's making you have these good feelings that are brief. Listen, my son, and be wise, and set your heart on the right path. Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat, for drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags. Again, be wise. Listen, discern, hear me, be rooted in my word, so that you know every day when you come up against something which one is wisdom, and set your heart on the right path. Follow me, right? What does the path do? It not only leads the way, but it also keeps us from getting lost, right? Stay on that path, but not just your mind. Set your heart to it. Again, this is that idea of submission that just keeps coming up. Submit your whole life to the path. Trust me. Don't look for worldly moments and pleasures, right? Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat. This isn't saying that Christians shouldn't drink or eat good food. That's how it's used a lot. But drinking too much, creating a habit of it, worshiping this as part of my life. Each day when I get home from work, I have to pop a couple beers to relax, to blow off the steam. That's when it's becoming something more. That's when it becomes a problem, right? Beer commercials always make it look great. Liquor commercials, it's always a party. It's always beautiful people. It's never the broken, toothless, homeless people who are in the street because alcohol took everything from them. It's never the sickness of withdrawal and the vomiting for days when people get off of it. It's never the reality. You're just seeing the snapshot of the best parts, the highlight reel. Don't fall for it. Don't let your heart envy it. Don't join with those who are doing it, for they become poor and God has so much more in store for you. I hope that's what you can take away today. I hope this is a good word that encourages you, that you know your Father loves you, created you for a purpose, continues to desire a close, intimate relationship with you, where you submit to him in his wisdom. Read these Proverbs. I know we spent a long time going through them, but you can read them once a month and keep reliving them. And every time you open them, they're going to speak to you in a different way. Keep that conversation going with your Father. I love you, man. I wish the best for you. Have a great weekend. Let's make it a firmly rooted day. And may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.